Hi everyone, I'm Ray. Today I wanted to bring you to the Independence Hall of Korea in honor of a very important day in Korean history, 삼일절. In English, this would translate to the March 1st movement. On this day, March 1st in 1919, more than 100 years ago, Korea's fight for independence from Japan began. So today I really want to take some time to explore the Independence Hall of Korea and learn more about this important day. So this day is both important and sad. Important for the fact that the events of this day are what got the ball rolling for Korea to gain its independence from Japan. But sad because of the number of Koreans that were injured, arrested, and killed on this day. On this day in 1919, there were more than 1,500 protests around the country, and the protests were peaceful. However, as a result of those protests, more than 7,500 Koreans died, more than 15,000 were injured, and more than 45,000 were arrested. So there is a really sad history here. There are many buildings to explore here, but we're just going to start with building number 1. So let's go. So honestly, as an American, I didn't learn that much about Korean history in school beyond the Korean War. So forgive me if I make any mistakes today. I'm still learning, but hopefully by visiting this Independence Hall of Korea today, I can leave with more knowledge than I had when I first walked in. On that note, I think in America these days, the media is really heavily focused on North Korea. So most Americans don't really think too much about South Korea on a daily basis unless they're specifically interested in South Korea or are maybe affiliated with the US military. So many Americans might see South Korea today as a hub for tech and all things modern, but they might not know that until the 80s, Koreans were really going through a difficult time and trying to overcome so many obstacles. It was only in the 80s that Korea really experienced some very drastic changes and gaining wealth and building the modern Mecca that South Korea is today. I think there are so many events that led up to the March 1st movement that were really important in Korean history. For example, I learned today that in 1895, Japan assassinated the Empress of Korea at the time. And then in 1904 and 1907, Japan forced Korea to sign treaties that gave Japan complete control over everything in Korea. And this is what really set in motion all of the difficult struggles that Korean people had to go through as a result of the Japanese colonization era. I think we should all be really grateful for those brave Koreans that stood up on the March 1st movement day and ultimately led to the demise of the Japanese colonization era. During the Japanese colonization era, Korean people really had everything taken from them, like their language, their names, their possessions, everything. And one of the saddest things about this period of time is also the Korean comfort women. Just thinking about it now, it's just one of the most devastating parts of Korean history, I think. It's really sad to think about this whole situation because Korea suffered for many decades under Japanese control. The March 1st movement was not the end of the Japanese colonization era. It was just the first step to becoming free of Japanese control. Korea didn't gain its independence until August 15th of 1945, so that's 50 years approximately of Japanese control. I just can't imagine.
Oh my God. It's so sad.
Oh my God.
No arm?
Yeah.
Oh. They cut the arm off. What does it say?
I'm trying to read it. It says the United States is supporting Korea and wanting to restore the ancient kingdom of Korea, and also wants to invite Korea to become a member of the League of Nations. I think this is a transcript from a meeting that happened in 1920.
Ray, stay low.
Army crawl?
Yeah.
Oh, scary.
거북선이에요, 그 유명한. 여러분들 저한테 맨날 지인 씨는 이렇게 예쁜 아내 얻은 거 보니까 전생에 거북선 저타수였냐고 그러시는 분 되게 많은 것 같은데 Maybe I was him.
This one?
Yeah. Fighting really hard.
No, you're like that guy. He
No.
looks more like you.
Maybe I'm him, the general.
Oh, nah, can't be. I think it would be impossible for me to explain Korea's difficult history in such a short YouTube video. However, I think the most important thing is Korea overcame this very tragic and difficult time, and as a result, you now have this beautiful country, which is something that all Koreans should be proud of.
솔직히 한국인이라도 외국인한테 삼일절에 대해서 설명을 하고 그러면 굉장히 힘드신 분들 많을 거예요, 저처럼. 어디서부터 어떻게 설명해야 될지 모르니까요. 그런데 이곳 독립기념관은 되게 외국인 친화적으로 자세하게 비주얼적으로 잘 설명되어 있어서 외국인이랑 같이 오기도 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 그래서 레이랑 오늘 같이 삼일절에 대해서 공부할 수 있는 시간을 가져서 정말 좋았어요.
So with that being said, I think this is a great place to end today's video, and we will see you next time.
안녕히 계세요. 대한독립만세!
만세!